Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the REI Network podcast with me, Gavin Timms. It has been a crazy 7 days, and I just wanted to jump on. It's actually late as I'm recording this. I'm sitting back at my RV in Michigan, and it has been quite the 7 days. I arrived back earlier today from Phoenix. And I just want to talk to you about what I've done over the last 7 days. Again, as a real estate investor, some of the takeaways that I've had. I've been in a mastermind. I've been at a 2-day event that was in Tampa, Florida, at the family reunion. And then I flew from there Thursday night to Phoenix. I moved my wife's grandmother into an assisted living, or got the room ready. And then on Saturday, we had a premiere for the new TV show for Pace and Jamil called The Triple Digit Flip on A&E. You should all check that out. And then flew back on Sunday. So it's been quite the 7 days. And I just thought, you know what? It's late. I'm tired, but I want to get this out. I want to do this podcast while it's fresh in my mind, because I have multiple takeaways. And I probably should have had my notes with me, but I don't. But I got a few things that I want to share that I kind of shared on my coaching call today. And it kind of impacted, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a podcast and talk about this. Just before I get going, especially what I'm going to talk about today as well on this, give me a like if you can, and subscribe. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe. If you are listening on the podcast, set that for download. You can follow me on Instagram as well, at gavin.tims for Instagram. And I appreciate if you could do that. So let's jump in. So the first thing that I did a week ago is I flew into Tampa, and we got off to a little bit of a shaky start. I arrived, thought no problem, giving myself plenty of time, got to the airport on Sunday, and I was supposed to arrive in Tampa at 4:15. The mastermind started at 8 a.m. Monday morning. So all good. Sunday, no big problem. Beautiful day here in Michigan. So I arrived at Grand Rapids. My wife took me, and then everything started to go wrong. Basically, my flight was delayed for some mechanical reason, not weather. And then all of a sudden, I get delayed, which means I'm now going to miss my connection flight in, I think it was Minneapolis, or it might have been Detroit. Anyway, so I went up and I said, hey, my flight's delayed and I'm going to miss my connection. I just want to make sure I can get on the next one. After an hour and 30 minutes, we figured that I cannot get to Tampa. So, excuse me, the best thing that I could do was I came back to the airport later that day. I think I got a 5 o'clock flight that went to Minneapolis. Minneapolis landed at midnight. I should have been there at 4:15 in Tampa. Landed at midnight in Orlando, and then had to drive Orlando into from Orlando into Tampa. So obviously set the tone. I wasn't too pleased, but I had to get there and make it happen. Probably got to bed about 3 a.m. So that was awesome. But again, that's just life, right? So we get there, and then the mastermind begins. Now, when you're in a mastermind, there's different sizes of masterminds. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're bigger. This one is on the info and coaching kind of mastermind, and it's good. Some of the top players there. You got Ronald Legrand. You've got pretty much anyone that's in the industry that you'll follow would be there. Not everyone, but a lot of people, and it's a really good event. So a lot of good for networking, listening to people speak, people doing presentations, sharing their numbers. The sales cycle. And what you're going to always learn from me in a mastermind, I probably said this before, is I actually learn things that I need to do, and I also learn things that I don't want to do. Okay. Excuse me. So what I mean by that is, for instance, I have a lifestyle business. Okay. So I created a vision, all right, like you all should, and then you build your business around it. And that's exactly what I did when I got into real estate. I hadn't been in book courses and read books and done all that. I kind of came in straight into coaching, and that was big for me because I said, okay, what are the big things? What are the big things that I need to do? I'm from England. I need to travel to back home for the family. I don't want to be tied anywhere. I like to travel, I like to do all them things. So I need to build a business that I can work from a phone and a laptop. And that's kind of what my way in. Now, a lot of these people in the masterminds have got big offices. They've got 40, 50. Some have got 170 people working on staff. And it's just not me. So when I see about what their businesses do, it allows me to pick from it and pick the pieces that I want to then implement. And also it also outlines like, I definitely don't want that. I definitely don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to do that either. And I can eliminate things. And that's the same from me if I speak. Okay. And that's what you need to be doing. If you're networking in your RIAs or online or your Zooms, is literally picking and taking pieces that you want from people's businesses that you can implement. Now, it can get hectic because you see a lot of people speak, and you're not going to learn something that maybe you didn't already know, but it might just be the couple of things, the couple of tweaks. Like we're always looking for salespeople, right? So understanding their KPIs, understanding how many calls you want them to make, how are you tracking them on a virtual level versus in the office, and kind of taking in and building your own, documenting exactly how I want to do that. So people were talking on sales, people were talking on ads, running ads and building funnels and all of these things, and it was really good. Now that's one aspect, but the other aspect is actually in the evenings and in breaks when you're actually networking. Remember, REI network for a reason. That's when you're building relationships. This business is built off relationships, and that's when I use this time to network with other people in our space to find out what is their models, what do they do, how do they do it. That's different to a presentation. So the presentations are good, but that's only one aspect. For me, the real piece is when you actually get network, when you're talking to someone one-on-one or in a small group, having a drink or having dinner, and actually diving deeper into what they do and learning more about them and their businesses and families, and that's the real gold for me. So I wanted to share that you should be always elevating up. So we have a coaching program now that is built based on a community. I just had a call with one of my guys that has just helped another one do his first deal by doing the negotiation, and they're partnering on. So I'm super excited. Not going to talk too much about it until it's over the line. But that kind of stuff is exactly what I'm trying to build. And I got that from, the masterminds and the people that I hang out with, because I'm not just reinventing, I'm modeling what other people do. Okay, I just had a great conversation with Pace, talking with him on the things that he did and how can I implement them into my coaching program to make them better. And that's what, like I said, I was taking from this, and that's something that you can't get in a presentation, and that leads to that you can't get from a training material, right? From courses. Courses are good. You can follow instruction, but people say, "Oh, what you do on a coaching call, like I wish you could put that into a course," but it's impossible. And it's the same when you go to a mastermind. The conversations that you have based on scenarios, it's impossible to put it into a course, because you have to have conversation. You have to have a situation, create a scenario from what would you do in this situation. Hey, I have a seller that's happening with this. You can't cover these things in the course, and that's where the interaction and the networking is so important. And that, again, the same from why I'm going to be there. So that's how our first 2 days went. And then we did the events. We had the mastermind for 2 days. Then we had the event, and we had Vanilla Ice. You may have seen the picture. We had Vanilla Ice come talk about real estate. He played some songs, and it was a good end to the event. And it just went to show that a lot of these people, that come back to real estate, even as he was what Vanilla Ice was back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. Now he invests. I think he's got his own TV show, or he's trying to get his TV show. I think he's actually got one. He's invested in real estate, and he's doing kind of similar things to what we do as real estate investors, because they know that's how they're going to build their net worth. That's where a lot of people, when they make money, they put it into real estate, because I think it's a great investment personally. So we had the event again, 4 days of networking, meeting people, meeting people that I could only imagine on meeting, right? And networking. So you need to be thinking about that when you're going to the events, when you're doing your rears, when they're back on, and you're listening to the speaker. But your time actually kicks in after. Like, don't rush off. Don't rush and just watch the person on stage and then go. Make sure you go early and network. In the breaks, network. In the evenings, go and get dinner with someone. That is when you're going to really build the relationship with your cash buyers, your realtors, your rehabbers. Okay, people in the your fellow investors, your fellow wholesalers, whatever it may be, and build them connections. I know some of the best in the business from networking, and that then grows my network. Because guess what? You bring me a deal, I probably will have, if I'm not doing it, somebody, whether it be a student, whether it be someone I'm in a mastermind with, to get deals done. So you're building, your network to build your net worth, if that makes sense. So it was a great event. It was good to get back out there after so long. The events have been off, and it was a nice touch to be hanging out with Vanilla Ice as well. That was a good touch, and a good laugh. So there are just a few things that I want to take away from the network side, and I could go into what the mastermind and who spoke and them things, but I don't want to get too detailed here. I just want to really emphasize about them topics I just talked about. Then I got a late flight, like I said, on Thursday night into Phoenix. And then Saturday we had the premiere. Now, what was cool about the premiere that we went to is there was a lot of YouTubers there. What I mean by YouTubers, the people that are on YouTube that have got a million plus followers, from dancers to family shows, nothing to do with real estate. And some have got 4 million on Instagram, 10 million on YouTube, all of this stuff. And it's pretty amazing. And I got to hang out with them. I didn't speak to them all, but I'd say I spoke to 4 of them. And you know what was unique about this is that they all had a very similar story that I can only bring back into real estate. And what I really wanted to teach on today was it actually took the ones that I spoke to 5 to 6 years of being consistent before it took off. So when you look at these YouTubers and they go, oh, they're just doing this, or they're just dancing around, or they're just doing whatever, for most of them, they've been doing it for years, consistently, daily, weekly, for year after year after year, making no dollars, until all of a sudden it grows and it grows and it grows. And the ones that I spoke to pretty much said it's the hardest to get from 0 to 10,000 than it is from 10,000 to 1,000,000. Because once you get over 10,000, you start to gain traction a lot faster. More people see the numbers. They jump on board a lot faster, start following you, rather than you have 10 people. And are you likely going to get anyone to subscribe? And it was pretty amazing that you have to have the mindset for 5 to 6 years to actually see that multiply and get them results in an industry that I don't know anything about in terms of what they do. But then I thought that's the same as investment, right? So many people want the instant results, just like they do on YouTube, just like they do on Instagram or TikTok or all of these things. And they want that instant success when the reality is it's not going to come. And that's the same in real estate. You have to be in it for the long haul. And I'm only asking for you to do it for 6 months consistently, to get results, to gain traction, to do multiple deals, to start building on a business over that 6 to 9 month term. Okay. But again, why do people fail? Because they throw in the towel. And I thought, you know what, like these YouTubers, they're smart, amazing people, because And we talked about me on this show talking to you right now. That's what I said at the start about getting a like or a subscribe, because that's just like me, right? I only have 1,500 people subscribe on YouTube. I don't know how many podcast downloads I get, but it just takes time, and I'm going to be here on year on year on year on year until hopefully we can look back at this episode and go, oh, I remember you doing that when you were at 1,500 and now you're at 15,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 or whatever I can go to. Okay. And the same with the podcast. If I get, 100 downloads a month, how do I get 20,000 downloads a month? And it's just about being consistent, showing up. I have been doing a podcast every single week. I don't think I've missed a week. I try and do at least release 2 videos a week on YouTube, okay, every single week to be consistent. I'm not making money, okay? YouTube isn't paying me, but I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to be consistent. And what I'm doing on my day to day, just like I was in real estate, I try and put back in, to the audience, to my clients, to say, look, I'm showing up every day. We do calls every single day in our coaching program. I was even at an event, stepping out, doing my hour coaching call to get it done, because if I'm willing to show up, I expect everybody else to show up and do their part to get results. And it was pretty amazing to talk to these YouTubers, and actually, um, how I could take so much from what they were saying and what I did myself. But I didn't take 5 or 6 years, right? I did it over 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and so on, and then kept it consistent in terms of my deals. And now I'm starting again in terms of the YouTube. And, I've probably had a channel for nearly a year now. And organically, I have 1,500 subscribers. Okay. So, you have to be that. You've got to be in it, okay, for the long haul. You've got to be doing something every day. You have to stay consistent if you're gonna make it. And I'm not talking about a deal, right? You shouldn't even be watching if you just want one deal. I'm talking about building a business that serves you, where you have a goal and the business fits around, and then you work at that. You have to work hard with the goal in mind to exit the business, to work on the business, not in the business. I'm sure that's what most of you want to do. I'm back in my RV. It's been hectic. I just did a video a couple of weeks ago where I did 5 coaching calls in 5 different states. Okay. Life can get hectic if I'm traveling, but I show up and I make sure and I do everything that I need to get results. Okay. And that's so we meet the YouTubers, we do the event. It's fantastic. Then I get to hang out with more people in the evening on Saturday, and then you pick more up. I was talking to other coaches, talking to Pace about what he does. Okay. He's just done a 26-hour live. That's right, 26 hours. And we're talking about what he does with his students, and how do we get success for everybody, and how do we level up this industry, okay? So it isn't just like the gurus that don't do anything, that just want to take money. How do we change that? And that was huge, like listening, having a conversation. How do we level up the industry to bring better, content, better results, being real, all of them things? And it was just awesome. It was great to listen, to hear, to see what people are doing, and then allow me and him and everybody else to start implementing, to do better. So really, like I said, really good, and hopefully you have some takeaways from this, that you can implement. Say, yeah, you're right. Like, are you doing enough? Analyze yourself. If you want it that bad, make sure you allow time. Make sure you're planning your day if you are working, and put in the effort and be consistent. Consistency will always win. Do not expect results today, in month 1, in month 2, in month 3, in month 4, and so on until it happens. Of course, can you do a deal within 30, 90 days? Absolutely. But I'm talking about building a business. And look, when these YouTubers all individually on different conversations said, yeah, it was really 5 years for me. It was really 6 years for me. It was really 8 years for me. You're like, wow, you were doing videos? Yeah, before it really took off. Yeah, it was like 5 years. I did 4 or 5 videos every single week, posted on Instagram, doing this every day for 5 years. And then all of a sudden I've got the traction and really started to get it going. And you know what? You think, yeah, you deserve it. And one of the guys said, um, it's like the 1%, right? The 1% that goes viral immediately. But most of them are really working hard to get where they're at. And I was like, yeah, that's like real estate. It's the same. And we can make it happen faster than 5 to 6 years as an influencer on YouTube. We can do it in 6 months. So if you're watching this and this helped, like I said, give me a like, subscribe, let me know, put some comments in. I appreciate you all. I got some podcasts coming up. We got Lou Brown coming on. I got Leo coming on, 19-year-old that did manage to get nearly, I think, 900,000, nearly a million people that he got following on TikTok in a short amount of time, in about 5 or 6 months, which is pretty incredible. And I'm going to be asking him, did he get one video hit? How did that happen? Was it one video that went viral? So I've got him coming, his 19-year-old kid. We've got a load of good stuff coming. So make sure you subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week. Happy investing. Bye-bye.